He just wants it to be where when he moves out, he won't have to move back in with his parents.
Liz Johnston had been thinking about this moment for a long time. Ever since she welcomed her baby daughter, Leighton, into the world, she felt the pull to create a home of her own. She and Brice had gone through ups and downs in their relationship, but one thing remained constant: her desire to prove she could stand on her own 2 feet as a mother and partner. Sitting on the back porch of her parents' house, she took a deep breath, watching the golden sunlight filter through the Georgia trees. Tonight was the night she'd finally tell Amber and Trent. The thought made her stomach churn. She knew how her mother would react. Amber had always been skeptical of her and Brice's future together, and she had made that crystal clear throughout their on and off relationship. Moving out was going to be a battle, but Liz was ready to fight for her independence. Brice pulled up in his truck, stepping out with a confident stride. He had been incredibly supportive of this next step in their lives, though he also had his own doubts about how Amber would take the news. He handed Liz an iced coffee, knowing she'd need all the energy she could get for what was coming. "You ready?" he asked, looking at her with a mix of excitement and nerves. Liz nodded, gripping the cold plastic cup tightly. "As ready as I'll ever be." Breaking the news. Dinner at the Johnston house was always a loud, chaotic affair. The whole family gathered around the table, conversations overlapping, laughter bouncing off the walls. But tonight, Liz felt a weight pressing down on her chest. She glanced at Amber, who was busy passing plates around, and then at Trent, who was playfully teasing Alex about something. The moment felt too big for a casual announcement, but there was no turning back now. Liz took a deep breath and cleared her throat. "Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you." The room quieted almost instantly. All eyes were on her. Even Emma, who had been scrolling on her phone, looked up with curiosity. Liz exchanged a quick glance with Brice before continuing. "Brice and I have decided it's time to move out. We found a place, and we're planning to move in with Leighton next month." For a few seconds, no one spoke. Then, as expected, Amber was the first to break the silence. "You're not going to make it," she said bluntly, shaking her head. Liz's stomach dropped. "What?" Amber leaned forward, her expression serious. "Liz, I love you, but this is a huge mistake. You don't understand how hard it is to live on your own, especially with a baby. You and Brice are barely stable. How do you expect to handle bills, parenting, and everything else that comes with it?" Trent sighed, rubbing his forehead. "I don't know, Liz. Are you really sure about this?" Liz squared her shoulders. "Yes. We've thought about this for a long time. I'm ready, Dad." Amber wasn't convinced. "And what happens when you two fight? What happens when things get tough? You'll come running back here, just like you did before." Brice, who had been quiet, finally spoke up. "Amber, we're not making this decision lightly. We know it's going to be tough, but we're prepared." Amber scoffed. "You think you're prepared. But Liz, you've never had to handle all the responsibilities of running a household. It's not just about wanting independence. It's about being ready for it." Liz clenched her jaw. "I am ready, Mom." Amber shook her head again, but Trent gave his daughter a small, thoughtful nod. "If this is what you really want, we'll support you. But you need to understand, this is a big step. There's no turning back once you leave." Liz exhaled, feeling a mix of relief and frustration. Amber's words stung, but she was determined to prove her wrong. Preparing for the move. Over the next few weeks, Liz and Brice worked tirelessly to get everything in order for their move. They secured a modest home about 15 minutes from her parents' house, giving them some space while still being close enough for support. Leighton's nursery was the first thing they set up. Liz carefully placed her daughter's crib in the corner of the room, decorating it with soft pastel colors. Brice assembled the furniture, occasionally teasing Liz about her supervisor role as she watched over his shoulder. But despite their excitement, Amber's words lingered in Liz's mind. Was she making a mistake? Was she really ready for this? One evening, as they packed up Liz's things, she voiced her fears. "What if my mom's right?" she asked, sitting on the edge of her bed. Brice sat beside her, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. "Then we'll figure it out. Together. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, Liz. We're doing this because it's what's right for us. She nodded, trying to push away the doubt. Moving day.